This is WFYI News Now. It's Tuesday, February 10th, and I'm Sarah Neal-Estes. Here are today's Central Indiana and statewide stories. The recent disappearance and death of Fisher's teen Hailey Buzbee has prompted Indiana lawmakers to amend legislation. Ben Thorpe reports one change addresses the state's Amber Alert system.
The update to the state's Amber Alert system would allow it to be used in instances like Buzbee's, where law enforcement believes the missing person is a high risk. The amendment isn't the Pink Alert system some advocates had been asking for. House Speaker Todd Houston says lawmakers will study the issue over the summer, but are worried about too many alerts going out, rendering them meaningless.
You don't want to have so many alerts that they become unimpactful or that people aren't aware of what they should and shouldn't be looking for.
Another amendment revives parental permission around social media use for teens. The two amendments have the support of Buzbee's parents. I'm Ben Thorpe at the Statehouse.
The Indiana Latino Institute's annual legislative breakfast explored bipartisan ways to address some of the state's most pressing issues for its more than 600,000 Latino residents. Republican Representative Danny Lopez says he believes there is a general consensus that people in the country not documented or here illegally that engage in criminal activities should be removed.
And if we kept our focus, our eye on that ball, I think we would find a ton of willingness to work towards solutions here at the state that hit the mark where people want us to be.
Lopez discussed solutions with Democrats Senator Shelley Yoder and Representative Victoria Garcia Wilburn. Immigration policy, cost of living, schools, Medicaid, and SNAP were top of mind. Indiana Latino Institute's acting president and CEO, Andrew Peñalva, says the goal should be to advance opportunities that benefit all.
And if Indiana's going to thrive in the years ahead, it's going to take all of us across backgrounds, across industries, cultures, working together. And Latinos are an important part of that future. Of that, I am certain.
Peñalva acknowledged the tension and differences people have at the moment and says progress can only happen if both sides have honest conversations. Court officials, including judges, could receive added layers of security. Jill Sheridan reports the proposal comes after the shooting of a judge and his wife in Lafayette.
Improved court security is the goal of a bill at the Indiana Statehouse. The measure would replace the Supreme Court sheriff with court marshals and deputy marshals to provide more widespread security across the state. Republican Senator Scott Baldwin authored the bill and says it creates added security.
And I think we all saw that this is probably very necessary with the tragic shooting of Judge Myers and his wife in their home.
Tippecanoe County Superior Court Judge Stephen Meyer and his wife were shot at their home in Lafayette last month. 6 people have been charged in connection with the attack. The proposal also seeks to protect personal information about judicial officers, such as home address. I'm Jill Sheridan.
Nick McKinley will fill former Senator Andy Zay's seat at the Statehouse. Zay left his District 17 seat in January after Governor Mike Braun appointed him to a state position. District 17 includes Olive Grant, Huntington, and Wabash counties. McKinley is a former police officer and Marion City Council member. He was sworn in yesterday and will also appear on the Republican primary ballot in May. And for our final story, people may soon see river otters in Indiana waterways after the species was classified as extinct in the state. Indianapolis's Eagle Creek Park's Earth Discovery Center announced on social media recently the tracks were identified last year, confirming the animal's presence. The discovery comes more than 2 decades after efforts to reintroduce the mammal to Indiana waterways. Visitors can be on the lookout for the river otter and its distinctive 5-claw footprint in the shape of the letter C. That's all for this episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Zach Bundy with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Kendall Antron produced our music. And if you liked today's episode, remember to subscribe and share and follow WFYI on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to get the latest updates from our newsroom anytime. Thank you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.